Well, I've got to say, yesterday was an unreal day for Dynamic Trader. Some huge moves on the Dow as we really follow up from the news for the coronavirus over in Italy and South Korea and so on. Horrible stuff. But what it is doing is creating some significant movement on these markets. And we saw a huge gap down on Monday morning. And then we saw some continuance of that movement throughout the day. And that's often you'll find that the markets will put in a big move and then it'll kind of fizzle out throughout the day. Not yesterday. The markets continue to put on big move after big move. And we're just looking at the charts now. I'm going to run through some of the trades from yesterday. There were some huge moves throughout, even from the morning. Some of these big moves here, good 100 point pluses, but all pre-market. That's the thing. You're not really going to be trading the Dow before then. You're going to probably be trading the DAX or something else. But what I want to do is have a look at the Dow here, really from the US Open. I typically look at the markets from 2 o'clock. You get some good moves from 2 o'clock moving into the Open. And then after that, it's really down to when you can look at the markets ultimately. Good hour slot, 2 hour slot is really all you need when you're trading on a short-term time frame like this. But what we're going to do is start off with, let me just zoom into this opportunity here. And we had a buy here. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's actually really high. The market's already rallied quite significantly. And it has. These are big moves that we're looking at the moment. And that's because of the volatility that is in there. So you are going to be trading smaller trade size than normal. So maybe normally you trade £5, £10 a point. Maybe because of the volatility, you're going to half that size, maybe a bit less. So, but that's fine. It's okay. You've got to look to respond to that when the volatility is there. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't trade it because that's opportunity. So on the close of this bar, we had a buy. Close this bar, open of this next bar. And actually that first bar was pretty horrible actually. But it's okay. Look, arrows outside this price channel. What that's meaning is we're looking for an explosive move. Okay, so we can go with it whether we're with or against the trend. It doesn't really matter. There was the buy on the close of this bar. It's meeting the rules. Rules-based approach to trading. There's three specific rules that we're going to look for. It meets those rules. So there was the buy. And there's two ways you can typically run this. You can look for your standard sort of 30-point gains. You probably could have gone for more yesterday, but that's with the benefit of hindsight. We typically in these videos talk about 30-point gains, or you can run it according to the arrow. And as the market continues to move up after that level, okay, at 28188 or so, you're seeing the arrow chasing up. That's your stop arrow, okay? It gets pretty close here, but not close enough until eventually getting knocked out here. That was around a 65-point winner. So if you're taking your 30 points, you take your 30 points and you're out of the trade in probably 6 minutes or so. Or you're looking to run the trade according to the arrow or anything in between. Of course, as you become more experienced with your trading, you're going to use these more as, or the way in which you manage the trade more as a guideline than a definitive rule, because that's down to personal preference and personal, the way in which you like to trade. But ultimately, these videos, we're talking about 30-point targets, or we're talking about running to the arrows there. Okay, and it's down to which way you want to do it. So that was a nice start for us, and it carried on very much like that. Again, another sell trade here. It's against the longer-term trend, but that's okay because the arrow's outside this channel. So that's expecting, again, another quite explosive move. So the sell on the close of this bar, the open of the 1524 bar, was again a really, really nice move for going short from 28. So what was it? 2823. 2 or so, and again a really big move down to here. That was around a 75 point move as well. Again, getting notched out on that stop loss arrow there once again, and that's okay. You're never going to buy the low, and it's very, very rarely, and let's not even try to do it. You can take your 30-point gains. Okay, you could have done that, so we could be 60 up on that basis, or we could have taken 70 odd on that trade there, and again, suddenly we're looking at plus 130 for the day so far. We then got to fast forward a little bit. We chop around, we're not getting on the right trades here as we start to move into see these arrows in the middle part of the price channel. Okay, they're within the blue lines. This means a non-explosive move. We need an additional factor on the chart. We haven't been getting it over these moves, so we're waiting, we're holding fast until we get it here. There's the sell trade on the close of this bar. Open of this bar is basically the same thing at 1644, and we get a sell trade there again, hitting our 30-point target. So getting 30 points within probably 10-12 minutes. Had a bit of a wobble against us there before moving on really nicely again down to that arrow point. That one picking up a 60-point profit. So you can see that these moves are big at the moment, and they're picking up consistent gains. Next trade was a buy here. Really bit. Depends on how you want to run this one. It hits your 30 points or runs to the arrow and knocks you out for a loss. Okay, that's a loss of 30 points. So it's a bit of a flip around that one, depending on which way you're going to manage the trade. Some people like to get in, keep making that positive progression forward by putting their small targets on. Some people like to run for the bigger trades. You could also balance it. You could look and say, well, look, what we tend to teach people is main part of the trading between 2, 3, half 3 in the open and towards the close. That's when you're more likely to get the bigger moves. You're more likely to run trades on that basis. Over the lunchtime, US lunchtime, moves tend to tighten up a little bit. You should be in the basis of looking to take profits more quickly. Anyway, we then move into a sell trade, 1754. Again, 30-point winner or 77 points according to the arrow. Again, really nice moves. 1908. We then get another sell trade here on this candlestick here. Very small winner. 30 points again. It does it or knocks us out to the arrow there for a 2-point win. And finally, the big trade for the day was here on the close of this bar. The open of this bar on that 1928 candle. Open at the bar there, really nice move. And again, you're seeing that explosive move there with the arrows outside the price channel. It's expecting now a big move. We're expecting to break out of any specific range. And look at this move here. This was the big trade of the day. Look at the arrows chasing us up here, covering the profits as the markets continue to move higher. So what we saw from an entry here at around 28,050, getting knocked out on the arrow there for 28,205. That's 155 points on a 2-minute chart. These are big moves happening right now, but you're only able to get on them if you've got the right strategies to identify these clear entry points in the first place. Now, I appreciate if you're quite new to these videos or you haven't been through our training yet, you're not really going to understand what I'm talking about in full detail. But this is a rules-based approach to trading, to identifying trading opportunities. Like anything, it's just a question of being taught the rules, being coached through the rules, mentored through the rules, so that you can look up to pick up trades exactly like these yourselves. Great day trading yesterday. If you're going for those 30-point targets, that was a 210-point day, all winners. Or if you're going for those arrows, yeah, there was a loser in there, but overall, it was a 408-point day. That is a huge day for day traders, and very welcome indeed. All the best, guys. Have a great day's trading.
If you would like more information about trading the right way, Trend Signal is giving you the opportunity to see and hear about its services live at a free online seminar. Take a look at the Trend Signal website for the latest events and to book your free place.